Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I'm really glad you're here today because we're jumping right into a topic that's, well, fascinating, kind of frustrating, but ultimately super empowering. If you're the kind of person who loves to learn efficiently and wants to know exactly what you're actually paying for, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're unpacking a surprisingly costly retail deception that is literally hiding in plain sight. It's happening in local specialty shops every single day, and man, it hits the wallets of passionate hobbyists hard. We're going to break down exactly how this retail trap works, but more importantly, we're going to look at some amazing modern tech tools we now have to protect ourselves. So get ready to take some mental notes because this is definitely going to change the way you shop for your passions. Okay, let's dive into this. Are you paying premium prices for imposter pets? It's a direct wallet-level question that, honestly, most of us never even think to ask when we stroll into a specialty store we trust. You know how it is, right? We see a sky-high price tag on something, and our brains just naturally assume, oh, this must be high quality, it must be rare, it's gotta be premium. But what if that trust is being actively exploited? What if that beautifully displayed, super expensive item is actually just an imposter? In the world of specialty hobbies, where passionate folks are more than willing to invest serious cash into their setups, the stakes are surprisingly high. So we're going to look at a really specific real-world example today to show you exactly how consumers are getting taken advantage of and how you can make sure you don't fall into that exact same trap. Moving into Section 1, the fishy retail trend, a rising issue in stores. To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to look at an April 2026 blog post by a dedicated aquarium hobbyist named Ang. In their Notes on Fishkeeping series, Ang points out a really troubling pattern. Just take a look at this quote. Some shops mislabel fish species, whether intentionally or not, and slap a premium price tag on them. This isn't just, a one-off mistake where a confused employee puts the wrong sticker on a tank. What Ang is seeing out there across various fish stores is a systemic retail trend. It's this practice where the visual presentation and the price completely misrepresent the actual biological reality of the fish swimming in that tank. And look, as a consumer, if you aren't a total expert in the tiny nuances of aquatic species, you are perfectly positioned to get caught in this. Now, this brings up a super important nuance, right? Like, why is this actually happening? Well, on one hand, you've got intentional deception. That's a store owner who knows exactly what they're doing, deliberately scamming buyers just to pad their profit margins. But on the other hand, you have unintentional mistakes. Maybe it's a new, undertrained retail clerk who just honestly can't tell the difference between two fish that look really similar. Or maybe it was just a careless mix-up at the supplier level. But here is the critical takeaway for you, the consumer. It fundamentally doesn't matter. Whether the mislabeling is some malicious scam or just super sloppy retail practice, the financial hit to your wallet is exactly the same. At the end of the day, you're still walking out of that store having totally overpaid for an imposter. All right, let's get into Section 2, the double red deception, a prime example. Let's move out of the theoretical stuff and into a really tangible case study. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the specific species Ang highlighted in their notes, the apistogramma-agassizii double red. It's quite a mouthful, but for those of you outside the hobby, this is a type of dwarf cichlid. And the double red is this highly sought-after, selectively bred variety. Hobbyists absolutely want this specific fish because of its incredibly vibrant, striking, premium coloration. I mean, it is a total showpiece animal. And because it's a showpiece, guess what? It commands a showpiece price. That makes it the absolute prime victim for the retail trend we're talking about. Whenever a fish carries a famous name and a hefty price tag, the temptation for stores to mislabel it just skyrockets. Just contrast your expectations as a buyer with the harsh reality of what's actually happening here. You go in expecting the genuine variety, right? Vibrant, super healthy, and totally worth every single penny of that premium price tag. But Eng observed a totally different reality being sold under that premium label. We are talking about literal rejected batches from breeders. We're talking about fish with duller colors that completely failed to inherit those premium genetics. And honestly, in the worst cases, stores are selling entirely different varieties that just happen to look kind of similar if you don't have a perfectly trained eye. Basically, you're paying for the expectation of top-tier quality, but you're taking home the rejected reality.
Which brings us to Section 3, the cost of mislabeling. Dropping significant money.
So the crucial point is really understanding this real-world financial impact. You are paying a premium price tag for an unknown species. Ing points out that this trend exposes a massive direct financial risk to the buyer. You're dropping a serious amount of money on a totally new or unknown species based solely on the fact that some store printed out a label and stuck it to a piece of glass. I mean, just think about how wild that actually is. In pretty much any other area of your life, you wouldn't make a premium investment without verifying the specs, the model, or the authenticity first, right? Yet in these retail hobby shops, consumers routinely just hand over their cash based on blind trust, often taking home an animal that is practically worthless in the specialty trade.
Seriously, why waste your money on a rejected batch? It's incredibly agitating, isn't it? It really forces you to question the absolute legitimacy of those sky-high retail prices you see every time you walk into a local pet store, or frankly, any specialty hobby shop. The burden of proof shouldn't just be on the store, to be honest, anymore. The burden of verification has to be on us as consumers. We simply cannot afford to be passive buyers, not when the retail environment is perfectly happy to charge us a premium, double red price for a dull, rejected imposter.
That leads us right into Section 4, AI to the rescue. Instant verification. Now, I love digging into a good problem, but man, I love a brilliant solution even more. The rise of AI and large language models, or LLMs, has completely flipped the script here, and this brilliantly illustrates your new empowered consumer workflow. Check this out. Step 1, you're in the store aisle, and you spot the fish. Step 2, instead of just blindly trusting whatever the label says, you pull out your phone, snap a quick photo or type in a description, and use an LLM. And step 3, boom. You get instant identification results on the fly. You totally bypass the store's marketing, you bypass the potentially ignorant or deceitful label, and you get a direct line to objective, synthesized biological data right there standing at the tank.
Let's just quickly summarize the immense power this actually gives you. AI empowers you with instant results. You can conduct really deep research on the fly, right in the middle of a crowded retail store. You can independently verify the exact physical traits of a specific fish to see if it truly matches the genuine variety. And ultimately, you protect your wallet. You take the power right back. Thanks to AI, you literally never have to be the person who accidentally drops a premium price for a dull imposter ever again. You essentially become an expert in seconds.
Well, we've definitely covered a lot of ground today, moving from a pretty deceptive retail trend in the fish keeping hobby all the way over to a high-tech consumer defense strategy. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take with you. How will you use instant AI identification to avoid being scammed in your own hobbies? Because honestly, this isn't just about the apistogramma-agassizii double red. Think about it. Rare houseplants, antique collectibles, specialized electronics, or even secondhand designer goods. The retail trap is absolutely everywhere, but now, so is the solution. So the next time you see a premium price tag, remember this explainer, pull out your AI tool, and verify before you buy. Keep learning, stay curious, and above all, protect your passions.